absolutely. So, finances have been weaponized.
Yep.
Now, let's talk about the media is being weaponized. And talking about our favorite person, I have a video here that I would like to share. This is something that's going on in Canada right now.
Extremely disappointing to see that Facebook continues to refuse to accept its responsibility towards our democracies by refusing to pay the fair share for Canadians to get local news and independent, rigorous journalistic content. Their decision to walk away rather than engage constructively is disappointing, but we are very much there to continue and to have conversations with them about how to make sure we're both supporting journalists and ensuring that Canadians can continue to function online in free and open ways. I will say that the conversations with Google are ongoing. It is important that we find a way to ensure that Canadians can continue to access content in all sorts of different ways, but that also we protect rigorous, independent journalism that has a foundational role in our democracies in holding authorities to account and keeping citizens informed about what's going on in their local communities and around the world.
Rutherford unperson. Substitute Ogilvy. Ogilvy bio details as follows. War hero, recently killed Malabar front. Today awarded posthumous Order Conspicuous Merit Second Class.
I'm sorry, who put that clip of 1984 in there? The Ministry of Truth.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have a talk with somebody. Jacob, talk to me about Trudeau. How can we get to the point where now Canada, unless it's state-sponsored media, state-sponsored news, it's just not going to be available for Canadians?
Again, Trudeau has always been an enemy of democracy. If I were a Canadian citizen, I would consider him to be an enemy of Canada. He's an evil man. He's not just a politician. He's a particularly evil individual. The man is evil. He's, of course, a globalist. He is very much in that club of Davos. And he wants to consolidate and centralize power along the same lines as any other socialist. Remember, socialism misrepresents itself as being for the people or for the public. It's not. It's for the elite. It is for the elite. Socialism is much closer to feudalism than it is to capitalism, libertarianism, or democracy. It's closer to feudalism. You have professional revolutionaries. In Russia, this was Bolshevism. A popular revolution was taken over by a revolutionary elite led by Lenin. They were the privileged class, the party members. They were the overlords. That is what they want here. In feudalism, you have the nobility, the aristocracy, and you have the vassals, and then you have the serfs and the slaves. Well, people like Trudeau represent an ideology that wants to turn the Canadian middle class into a population of serfs. It wants to take itself into the position of having vacillating bureaucracy controlled by a party elite. It is Bolshevism, but it is really not Bolshevism in the sense that Bolshevism evolved. It was Bolshevism ideologically, the same kind of model, but it's not going to be like Sovietism. It is going to be like feudalism, That is the way it's going, and that is the way it's going to be. You must get your news from us, otherwise you can't have access to the news in Canada. This is Pravda, TASS, Izvestia, exactly what the Soviets did, exactly what the Nazis did, and it's exactly what Trudeau does. It is a neo-feudalism masquerading as a Canadian socialism.
I forgot who said it, but someone used to say that when you oppose an ideology in about 50 to 60 years, whatever ideology you're opposing, your society will take on the attributes of who
Yes.
you oppose. I want to go to one of our experts when it comes to dystopian societies, Davey. Uh, talk to me about talk to me about Australia and some of the things that they're going to do that are going to try to mimic what Trudeau is doing.
Yeah. Well, Anthony Albanese has got a very, very similar bill. He's trying to pass at the moment too. The interesting thing, of course, his own party, the Labor Party, will be exempt from any censorship or claims of misinformation or disinformation, which will be very convenient to them. But the bill they're trying to pass is very, very similar. You know, they're concerned about Twitter and Facebook. And, you know, misinformation, disinformation is causing division within the community and undermines trust that can threaten public health and safety. So, again, it's coming here too. And it's not just here, they're pushing it elsewhere, but it was a big thing here this week too. They're really trying to push it.
Real quick question, Davey. Has Albanese ever talked at the World Economic Forum?
I don't think he has. No, I don't think he has himself. But I know other members of the Labor Party, prominent members of the Labor Party, have been there.
Jay, the EU has already gotten on board with this censorship. And in fact, Twitter just gave in to free speech, gave up free speech there in Europe. They just this week, he allows them to censor it.
And
Not here.
I would point out concerning Australia, David did not mention, but I'm sure he will affirm, you have a figure in Victoria in Australia, Daniel Andrews.
Daniel Andrews?
He is almost a twin, an ideological twin brother of Justin Trudeau. He's just the same, cut from the same piece of cloth as Trudeau. They're just the same. And in some ways, he may even be worse. He's an extremely dangerous threat to Australian democracy. But he has a national profile. He's not just a figure in Melbourne and its environs. He has national punch. And again, anything Trudeau does, he would do the same in Australia, easily. Would you?
I would totally agree. I would totally agree. And just, I kind of have a bit of a chuckle at the moment because people are starting to get to see the real nature of Daniel Andrews come out. Just what a gutless coward that he is. He was involved in an automobile accident with a cyclist a while ago, and of course he was blaming it on his wife being the driver. He's been caught out that was a pack of lies. He managed to avoid having to be drug and alcohol tested. This is all starting to come out, so he's keeping a bit of a low profile at the moment because this is going to do harm to him. So let's hope he will go.
I see the two-tier justice system is alive and well in Australia as well.
Yeah, the only problem if he goes, though, look what happened in New Zealand. They got rid of Jacinda Ardern, and the guy they've got now, he's been over at the Davos thing in China at the moment, and he has really just revealed himself for what he is.
Yeah, it's just like the Chicago. You get rid of Lori Lightfoot, you get somebody worse.
You get somebody worse. Just wanted to mention, because it's in my neck of the woods, also, we have, I forgot the amount of celebrities, but there's a video with, I think, 30 plus celebrities asking for Facebook, Twitter, and social media to ban and cancel anyone who speaks against the Pride. And that video is available, and making its way through the airwaves.
There's a petition for 250 stars or so-called stars out there in Hollywood too that just came out petitioning for the exact same thing.
I believe that's the one I'm talking about, but I think
Oh, I
there's
thought
also
that-
I think there's also a video